Hi, Aslo Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain animated comedy film called Shrek. Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notification in less than 5 seconds. You got it? Alright, click the like button too and let's get started. Shrek is a solitary, extremely territorial ogre who is antisocial and enamored of his swamp. After the diminutive Lord Farquaad of Duloc banishes a large number of fantastical animals who unintentionally wind up in the swamp, his life is disrupted. Shrek, who is enraged by the intrusion, makes the decision to go see Farquaad and insist that they be relocated. He grudgingly agrees to let the chatty donkey, who was also banished, accompany him and direct him to Duloc. Farquaad is given the magic mirror in the meantime, who informs him that in order to become monarch, he must wed a princess. Princess Fiona, who is held captive in a castle guarded by a dragon, is the person Farquaad selects. He decides to hold a competition where the victor will have the privilege of saving Fiona because he is unwilling to do it himself. Farquaad declares that the winner will be the one who kills the ogre when Shrek and Donkey arrive at Duloc, but they easily beat Farquaad's knights. Farquaad, who finds them amusing, hails them as champions and offers to move the fantasy animals in exchange for Shrek saving Fiona. The dragon attacks Shrek and Donkey as they make their way to the palace. After saving Donkey, Shrek finds Fiona, who is horrified by his lack of romanticism. They then leave the palace. Fiona adamantly refuses to go to Duloc when Shrek takes off his helmet and shows he is an ogre, demanding that Farquaad save her personally. Shrek carries her against her will. Shrek confides in Donkey about his frustration with being feared and rejected by others due to his look that evening after setting up camp and spending time with Fiona alone in a cave. Fiona hears this and chooses to show Shrek some consideration. The three are harassed by Robin Hood and his merry men the following day, but Fiona effortlessly disposes of them using martial arts. Fiona impresses Shrek, and the two start to fall in love. As the group approaches Duloc, Fiona spends the night in a windmill. Later, Donkey enters by himself and finds Fiona has changed into a monster. She says that she was born with a curse that requires her to turn into an ogre every night and back into a human at sunrise. Only true love's kiss, she explains to Donkey, will be able to break the curse and transform her into love's true form. As Shrek prepares to tell Fiona about his emotions, he overhears Fiona describing herself as an ugly beast. Shrek storms off, thinking she is referring to him, and makes his way back the following morning with Farquaad. Fiona accepts Farquaad's marriage proposal and asks that they get married before sundown after being confused and hurt by Shrek's sudden hostility. Donkey is left behind as Shrek heads back to his abandoned wetland. He soon realizes that he is unhappy and misses Fiona despite his desire for privacy. Returning to the swamp, Donkey approaches Shrek, pointing out that the ugly beast that Fiona was alluding to was actually someone else, and exhorting him to tell Fiona how he really feels before she gets married. After making amends, the two ride Dragon, whom Donkey has made friends with, to Duloc right away. Just as the ceremony is about to end, Shrek stops and informs Fiona that Farquaad is only marrying her in order to become king. Shrek realizes what he heard as the sun lowers and Fiona turns into an ogre in front of everyone. Farquaad, indignant and repulsed, decides to have Shrek put to death and Fiona imprisoned. When Dragon and Donkey break in and eat Farquaad, the two are rescued. Shrek and Fiona make love declarations and smooch each other. Despite her expectations, Fiona is now a permanent ogre despite the fact that the curse was broken. However, Shrek tells her that he still thinks she is beautiful. Fairy tale creatures witness their swamp wedding, after which they depart for their honeymoon. And that was how the movie ended.